Hello Bowling Green, happy Friday. I'm Leo Goldman, and this is your Friday edition of the Falcon Sports Report. On Tuesday, BG men's basketball picked up their second straight conference loss in DeKalb, Illinois. The Falcons fell behind early against Northern Illinois and were unable to stage any kind of comeback, losing 93-62 after a second half that saw the Huskies shoot an amazing 75% from downtown. Point guard Roderick Caldwell and center DiMaggio Wiggins led the way for Bowling Green on the stat sheet. Caldwell had a team-high 13 points, while Wiggins picked up 11 points and 8 rebounds on the night.
We didn't come to play. We didn't come to play from start to finish. Our guys thought it was going to be like the game we played over in BG, and they didn't come ready to fight. And we lost by 30. And got to come ready to fight every time we step onto the court.
Tomorrow, the Falcons will travel north on I-75 for a 7 p.m. matchup against the Rockets in Toledo. Women's basketball also failed to pick up a win on the road this week as the ladies fell to Ball State 82-41 in Indiana on Wednesday. After starting the regular season strong, the Falcons have struggled against MAC competition, going just 2-6 in the conference. BG had a hard time getting shots to fall all night as they only put 13 points on the board in the first half, while shooting less than 20% from the field the whole game. They will try to turn things around Saturday at the Stroh Center against rival Toledo. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 2 p.m. After a sweep of Alaska Anchorage last weekend, BG Falcon Hockey looks to continue its offensive success on the road against the Lake Superior State Lakers. The Falcons previously picked up a shootout and regulation win in a weekend series with the Lakers earlier this season. Bowling Green freshman Brandon Cruz hopes to build off his play last weekend. He earned WCHA Rookie of the Week with 4 points, including a third-period goal to put the Falcons on top 3-2 and get them the eventual W. He is now second on the team in points with 21, behind sophomore Alec Rodhauser, who has 23. Face-off starts at 7:07 p.m. on Friday and Saturday in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Believe it or not, we are only a few weeks away from the start of the college baseball season. In mid-February, Bowling Green Baseball will start their Tour of the South with a 3-game series in Birmingham, Alabama against the UAB Dragons. Yesterday, pitcher Chase Antle came by the studio to talk about the season ahead with me.
I would say the biggest strength that we have as a team, I would say, is probably our fight. I don't think like this offseason, they've pushed us, and not giving up an opportunity. If we don't do something one day, for example, we had a really tough conditioning the other day, that some guys didn't pass it, including myself sometimes, and the next day they said, guess what, hop on the horse, grab by the reins, and get ready to roll again. And then we did that exact same thing again, and again, everybody passed at that time, crazy enough. And it's just I just don't think we have a give up in our team. I think there's a lot of guys that have a lot of heart, they want to win. Everybody's kind of tired of losing, so I think that'll be the big thing. And I'm excited to watch this season and then get ready to roll next fall. Last year, kind of mid-season, I started having a lot of problems. I had a few cortisone shots, and that really wasn't getting the job done. So we tried to go rehab all summer long. Got to the first day of throwing, and the injury was just as bad, if not worse, than what it was before. So I had a long talk with my parents, doctor back at Ohio State. They treated me incredible. They pretty much told me I needed the surgery, or else I probably wouldn't play again. And so it's kind of a no-brainer. We've got a lot of tough teams in the MAC, and the MAC's kind of a pretty competitive conference. I think the beginning of our schedule is pretty tough, so right away I think we'll test the character of our team and how much we really want it this year. I think this is probably one of the hardest off seasons we've worked. I think personally myself, I think I'll take a little bit of responsibility for us missing that tournament, because it came down to my start at Western Michigan, and that's kind of when the wheels fell off the bus, and I really wasn't able to do much anymore. And instead of saying something, I kind of just tried to power through it like I had the rest of the season, and then I ended up giving up I would say probably a third of my runs all season in that one game, and didn't really give my team a chance to win, especially in crunch time, which is tough to swallow. But I think this year we'll bounce back, and I think we'll make it.
Even though the season is still months away, it's never too early to talk about some Falcon football. Yesterday afternoon, former starting quarterback for Bowling Green, James Morgan, announced that he would be taking his talents to South Beach to join Florida International's football program as a graduate transfer. Last night, sports director Zachary Reed-Carrion spoke with Morgan over the phone about his choice and the transfer process.
Tell me a little about the grad transfer process. How is it, and is it like anything similar to high school?
Sure. Well, it's kind of interesting because I could kind of take the stuff that I learned from recruiting in high school and kind of apply it to this process the second time around. Like, I learned a lot of things, I think, after being a part of the program and kind of getting the other perspective on it, you know, in terms of what to expect, you know, what, you know, people are looking for, that type of a thing. And so I would say it's similar, but I feel a lot more like prepared when I came in this time. Basically could kind of, you know, see what I want in a program. I've had a lot of experience with how different programs are ran, and I could look for very specific things that I was attracted to.
When you were looking at schools, what were like some of the big deciding factors for you?
Well, I think that one of the main things was the coaches. You know, I wanted to get some guys who were, you know, real genuine guys who cared about the players, who had been in the profession a long time and really knew their craft. And then the other thing was really like the offense, like what kind of an offense fit me. You know, I'm more of a get back and rip it type of guy, a pro-style quarterback, and I wanted an offense that, you know, played to my strengths in that regard. So I really like FIU. I really like the coaches. I think that they have a lot of experience. The head coach, Coach Davis, has been coaching forever. I think it was a really good fit for me.
You met Butch Davis. What was he like, and what is his plan for you in the offense?
Sure. I mean, he blew me away, to be honest. He's been in coaching for a really long time, like I mentioned. He was with the Cowboys with Jimmy Johnson. He coached head coached at Miami and at North Carolina. So one of the things that I really was looking forward to and factoring into my decision was just his experience. You know, he's been there, done that, been with a lot of successful quarterbacks, and you know, I'm hoping that he can impart some of that knowledge on me. In terms of the plan to get down there, it's just to compete, man. It's just to get down there and you know, work my tail off and try to compete for a starting spot. And that was another criteria that I was looking for. They had a really good quarterback who just left the program. He was a senior. And, you know, I'm just trying to get down there and work as hard as I can and compete for a spot. I think my probably favorite memory was one winning our first game last year that I was starting. It was against Akron, and we had won that, and that was a real special moment with the guys. And then another one was actually in the game that we lost, and it was with my roommate, Scotty. And it was just a play where literally he had two people over the top of him, and so there's no means that it should have worked at all. But I literally saw him, and he outran him, and I just chucked it as far as I could, and he caught it. We had a real long touchdown against Toledo. It's a great program, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it's a lot of great guys on staff, and you know, it just didn't work out with me. But and that's not to say that I don't love the program. I think that it has a rich tradition and quality guys. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Here in Bowling Green, the Falcons are gearing up for another football season. Earlier this week, I sat down with right tackle and leader of the offensive line, Austin Levis, to talk about the past, the present, and the future of Falcon football. Welcome into the Cooling Center. My guest today is a redshirt senior from Kalamazoo, Michigan, Austin Levis. Austin, thanks for sitting down with me today.
Thanks for having me.
So you, as a lot of people can see, you had surgery a short time after the season ended. What was the injury that led you to have surgery, and how has the recovery process been for you?
Well, I tore my labrum when I was training. It was just one of the exercises we were doing. I landed on it funny and tore it, and I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then finally, when the season was coming around, I really started to realize it was a problem, but it was my choice, and I decided to play through it. Obviously got worse as that happened, and after the season, I ended up getting my surgery, and it's been about 5 weeks so far. I get this off next week.
You've been with the Falcons since 2014. You redshirted your freshman year, and then you kind of got thrown into the fire a little bit your sophomore year in 2015. What did the experience of playing on that MAC championship team, players like Roger Lewis, players like Travis Green, Matt Johnson, what did playing on such an elite team for Bowling Green do for you?
I think it really just prepared me for like my current situation as a starter. I think it just gave me experience to like go out there and feel out like what it's like. I remember my first game that I ever went in was I wasn't planning on playing at all, and the starter rolled his ankle, and I was sitting there on the sidelines all wrapped up in my coat, and next thing I know they're like, Levis. I'd take my jacket off, run out there. I remember being like super nervous, but my adrenaline was pumping, and I remember I just played a great game. It was a really good game.
Do you think the culture for BG football has kind of shifted a little bit since, you know, 2013 you guys were MAC champions, same with 2015, 2014 you guys came really close, but you still won a bowl game. Do you think it's kind of been a little bit of a culture change since then?
I think it started, like, as each coaching change, it makes a little bit different culture, and it just started like going down and down and down. We were winning with Babers, and I mean we obviously have gone over some humps with Coach Jenks, but I think part of it's just disciplinary. The disciplinary's been an issue, but I think Coach Jenks has a good plan, and he's implemented a new disciplinary system that's gonna make our team more disciplined and be able to execute what we need to do.
Last question for you, Austin. 2018, how high is the ceiling for this Falcon football team?
I think it's very high. I think our young players like Jared Dagey and Andrew Clare are going to be some great playmakers in the backfield. And I think the new defensive coordinator that we brought in is going to be huge for our defense. And I think, especially offensive side, now that defense is not going to be great, but I haven't seen this new defensive coordinator schemes yet. But offensively, I think we're going to be firing on all cylinders. We didn't lose much besides, I mean, Tio Redding and a couple offensive linemen. Our team was pretty young last year, and we were putting up a lot of points towards the end of the season. So,
well, Austin, we wish you the best of luck with your recovery and the best of luck with this season. Thanks for joining us.
thank you.
That's all for your Falcon Sports Report. Be sure to check in again on Monday for a recap of this rivalry weekend and, of course, more updates and stories about your favorite Falcon teams.